Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Type in the comments below.
And how are you?
I can talk to my boyfriend, so I'm in a good mood. And I get to see him! Well, I mean, who wouldn't blush over that handsome face? Huh?
Me.
Well, you got a husband.
Well, you said your words. I'm Holy Blue. Welcome in, and you are the first commenter of the live. Yay!
Good job, baby. He's smirking and turning so red. He's so cute. Oh, you're adorable.
So this morning we are going to continue on the topic of what
Vaccines
and what they do. Oh, come on, pop out. Yes, your dad is.
I'm talking about my boyfriend.
Bear with me. My computer's being a little slow today.
I still got it on. Just until you get here.
Oh, boy.
What? Oh, for live?
What about the live?
It's like a stop film animation.
Like a what?
Stop film animation.
I might have to install it.
Yeah.
Okay, so first things first. What's the first thing we're gonna do? Right. We're gonna bring up a prayer with Mike.
Bring up a prayer. You said bring up a prayer.
Bring up a prayer with Mike. Stinker.
You love man.
That's besides the point. You're a stinker. Vengeance, welcome in. How are you doing this morning?
It's been forever.
Alright, let's get started.
He's like, bring up.
I pray for your Thursday, May 21st. Heavenly Father, you brought this person through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I pray you bring them through this Thursday. You brought them all the way here, and you did not bring them this far just to leave them now. God, I don't know what they got planned on this Thursday. I don't know what they got on their schedule, but I pray you be with this person in a real and personal way on this Thursday, that they feel closer to you than ever before. No matter how long they've been drifting away from you, no matter how long they've been trying to do life on their own, and maybe they've been living life without you, but I pray all that changes on this Thursday, that this person feels your presence in the car, at their desk, at home, that all 24 hours would be covered by you, and that you would drop God winks in their life the entire day. Drop those moments in their life that make them look up and say, wow, thank you, God. And God, whatever's been heavy on this person's heart, that's been weighing heavy in their mind, I pray you take that from them on this Thursday, that they would feel lighter than ever before, that they would feel like they can finally breathe again. Maybe they've been holding on to so much weight and pressure and burdens and all these things, but I pray they let go of all that and give it to you. You know every single thing they're worried about, and you're already working out whatever they're worried about. You know every single thing they have a regret about in the past, but you've already forgiven them of all of that. This person just needs to let you have their past and trust you with their future. And I pray you help them to do that, because no amount of worrying changes the future, and no amount of regret changes the past. Let this person know they worry too much for someone you have never failed. The same God who brought them through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is going to bring them through this Thursday. And I pray you don't just get them through, this Thursday, but let them have victory on this Thursday. Let them overcome. God, I pray you change this person's life. You're the only one who's able to do it. This person has tried so many other things to fill the void, but God, you're the only one who could ever fill that void. And I pray this person turns to you and realizes that they don't got to do this life on their own anymore. It doesn't all depend on them. And that should be the most freeing thing this person has ever heard in their life. They're not God. You are God. And you know how to do your job. All you want this person to do is trust you, let go, and let God, and let you cook. And I pray you cook in this person's life on this Thursday, that they don't have a good Thursday, that they have a God Thursday. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Can I pray?
See, I wasn't so bad. I like Mike's prayers. He actually does really good prayers, so I've been including them. Yellow, wrong thing. So, why don't we get this started? Get this party started on a Saturday night.
Oh, it's Thursday today.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So we have our Ryze Mushroom Coffee. I am doing good. How about you, Monko?
I'm doing good.
Have to grab another bag. Eat.
What? Yeet right back at you.
Stinker. Yes, we do try to keep it lighthearted because, well, that's just who we are. Some of the topics we talk about are very hard. So even though we're talking about really hard topics, we still want to stay us.
What is with the yeeting stuff at me? Where did that even go? It just like disappeared into the back rooms, I swear. Where did it go? Oh, not in that back rooms.
This bag doesn't have enough to spit at. And I don't waste it, so put it in the other bag.
Empty.
And then Monkey, can I borrow your hand? Ryze. Indigo. Ryze. Indigo. Excuse me.
Okay, that's it. So cute. Oh, look at how adorable he is.
So, guys and gals, that's your friendly little reminder to make sure you have your anti-murderers. Okay.
Just a sec. Okay, oh, careful so you don't spill it.
Okay.
By the way, we're out of milk.
Oh, shit. I just bought some. Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Don't burn yourself.
Maybe.
Welcome to Ryze. Wow. Welcome to Ryze and Shine. I'm Mrz-Wild-Wolf.
And I'm Monko.
And we have our co-host. Unholy
My
Blue.
boyfriend. What up?
You want to say good morning, Unholy?
Oh. There's the co-host.
He's like, nah. So, Ryze is brought to you by Ryze and Shine is brought to you by Ryze Mushroom Coffee and Mrz-Wild-Wolf. This morning, I'd like to start off by giving a cheers and saying thank you to God and Jesus above. Because without God, none of this would be possible. Glory be to God. And thank you to each and every one of you viewers and followers. My beautiful co-host. And my co-host. So, cheers.
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 Baby, you got your anti-murder juice?
We don't have them this morning.
No reason.
Uh-huh. This morning's Ryze is about vaccines. It's part 2. So I would highly advise going back and watching the previous live. But we are talking about what is in vaccines and what the chemical or ingredients do individually to your system. So you've seen the video with Mike. He's amazing. So let's get to the next portion, shall we? One of the ingredients is mercury. So, key facts. Mercury is a naturally occurring element that is found in air, water, and soil. Exposure to mercury, even small amounts, may cause serious health problems and is a threat to the development of the child in utero and early in life. So if it's even small amounts may cause serious health problems in utero and in early life. So why are they injecting it into our children? Hey, mercury may have a toxic effect on the nervous, digestive, and immune systems, and on lungs, kidneys, skin, and eyes. Mercury is considered by WHO as one of the top 10 chemicals for major public health concerns. Did you just bite me?
Thanks, Mommy.
Did you just bite me? She bit me. Mercury is considered by the WHO as one of the top 10 chemicals of major public health concern. But if it's so concerning, why do they put it in vaccines? Don't get me wrong, I'm for everybody having the choice. But at the same time, I'm for everybody having the knowledge of what they are injecting. People are mainly exposed to methylmercury, an organic compound, when they eat fish and shellfish that contains the compound. Methylmercury is very different from ethylmercury. Ethylmercury is contained in the thimerosal as a preservative in some vaccines and does not pose a risk. But No, that is not true. And who is saying this? I mean, who is saying this? Right? Okay, another ingredient, formaldehyde. Embalming fluid. Formaldehyde is what is used after you die. They inject it into your veins as they pull out all your blood. Health effects of formaldehyde. Formaldehyde can cause irritation of the skin, eyes, nose, and throat. High levels of exposure may even cause some types of cancer. Okay. Formaldehyde is currently undergoing risk evaluation under the Toxic Substance Control Act. In March of 2024, EPA released a draft TSCA risk evaluation preliminary finding that formaldehyde possesses unreasonable risk to human health. However, EPA notes that the risks may not apply to everyone everywhere and describes some of the sources of uncertainties in EPA's findings. Okay, so federal insecticide, fungicide, roticide Act risk assessment. Formaldehyde's use as a pesticide is undergoing a separate review under the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act. So formaldehyde is used in killing what they determine as pests. Okay? The FIFRA draft risk assessment, released in April 2024, identifies risks to human health and the environment for the pesticidal use of formaldehyde and describes some of the sources of uncertainties in EPA's finding. So they're concerned about it being used as a pesticide, when even small amounts are dangerous for us. But they put it in the vaccines. Make that make sense. And that's on the EPA.gov. Yes, all these will be listed in the description. So I played this video last week, and I absolutely love it. We're going to play it again. And yes, I have permission from owner.
I bet you every single one of you guys would call me crazy if I told you I was going to bring this little guy up the road to my buddy in a white butcher coat, and he was going to inject him with formaldehyde, antifreeze, mercury, aluminum, monkey kidney cells, fetal bovine serum, and some DNA fragments from an aborted fetus in 1966. But somehow, magically, if that man in the white butcher coat was called a doctor, and that trip up the road was called a wellness visit, and those injections were called vaccines, somehow I'm only crazy if I don't inject him. Make that make sense. And if you think that makes no sense at all, like I do, and you'd like to learn how to live a healthy, holistic lifestyle free of vaccines and pharmaceutical poisons, simply message me the word truth, and I'll send you an invitation to my community, The Healthy Truth. Because parents need more truth, not more fear. Right, Kaylin? A beep.
I knew you needed to hear this. There's people who died yesterday who had plans for this morning. Your life can literally change in the blink of an eye. The fact that you're seeing
Okay. Ethyl glycol poisoning. Antifreeze. Okay. This one I did a little different. Signs and symptoms. Neurological and gestational symptoms look similar to alcohol poisoning. Poisoned, and mind you, yes, they are talking about drinking in this one, but it's the effects that it has on everybody. So think of their tiny little bodies. Teeny tiny little bodies. Okay? Now the amount that they're stating here, they don't say exactly how much was drunk, but even a small amount can do the same. Okay. Early symptoms include intoxication, vomiting, and abdominal pain. Later may include a decreased level of consciousness, headache, and seizures. Long-term outcome may include kidney failure and brain failure. Toxicity and death may occur after drinking even a small amount of ethylene glycol is more toxic than other diluents. They put it in the vaccines. Even a small amount ingested can lead to this. So imagine what they're putting in your children. Ethylene glycol is a colorless, odorless, sweet liquid commonly found in antifreeze. It may be drunk accidentally or intentionally in a suicide attempt. When broken down by the body, it results in glycolic acid and oxalic acid, which cause most of the toxicity. The diagnosis may be suspected when calcium oxalate crystals are seen in the urine, or when acidosis or an increased osmolar gap is present in the blood. Diagnosis may be confirmed by measuring ethnoglycol levels in the blood. However, many hospitals do not have the ability to perform this test. Why not? Because they're putting it in the shots. Hey, you. Wake up.
I am awake.
Okay. This one here is aluminum. Yeah, we tend to use it for cooking and all that, which our family has been trying to stay away from it more. But there's some pretty cool tricks with aluminum that can actually help you. But aluminum, another compound that they're putting in the shots. Impact on the brain. High levels of aluminum in the body, have been linked to memory problems, reduced concentration, and in some cases, possible links to diseases that affect the brain. While everyday exposure is usually too low to cause such effects, people with kidney problems or long-term exposure may be more at risk. Long-term exposure, injecting it into the muscle or into the veins. Effects on bones. When aluminum builds up in the body, it can settle in the bones and surrounding tissue. This may gradually weaken bones over time, increasing the risk of bone pain, fragility, or fractures especially in individuals with other underlying health issues or conditions that affect bone density and overall skeletal strength. Inflammation and stress in cells. Aluminum can create imbalance in the body's cells, disrupting normal cellular processes and leading to oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. Over the long term, this can impair the function of the vital organs, including the brain, the kidneys, and the liver, and may contribute to a range of serious health problems and diseases. Who is at risk, or who is at higher risk? Children. Their small body size means they absorb relatively more aluminum compared to adults. People with kidney disease are more at risk for aluminum toxicity. We look at our children and we want the best for them, right? Now comes the hard part for me. Okay. So, back in 2009, I had one of the worst nightmares any parent could ever have. Only our nightmare wasn't a nightmare. It was a reality. I took my son in for his vaccines. 2 weeks old. He was 2 weeks old, and he went from being perfectly healthy, a perfect, beautiful baby boy, smart, so smart. At 2 weeks old, he was already doing the baby bounce. You know, the one where they start doing before they start crying. He still had his umbilical stump when he was already rolling over. Very brittle. I took him in. He got his shots. Not even 24 hours later, he had signs of sleep apnea. Do I know what sleep apnea is? Yes, my family has it. Took him to the doctor on September 24th, 2009. My birthday. He stopped breathing. Oh, you're a paranoid mom. Go home. You're overreacting.
Honestly, if that happens with any of my kids, I'm just gonna turn around and beat that doctor without a second thought.
That Thursday was the last time he was into the doctor. Tuesday. We woke up at 5 o'clock breastfeeding. Or sorry, 6 o'clock breastfeeding. He was breastfed. And so I fed him, I burped him, I put him back down to go back to sleep. Because I had to be up in an hour to get one of my children off to school. I woke up. And I looked down at him. I'm like, good morning, baby JJ. My sweet baby JJ. 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 And I started yelling at him to wake up. And I started CPR on him. And I threw my phone at my husband, who's dumbfounded. Because literally that's how he woke up. And I told him to call 911. So I'm talking to 911 as I'm doing CPR on my beautiful baby boy. And I asked every question I could. What happened? Why did this happen? Why did we lose him? Why did he stop breathing? They diagnosed it as SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome.
And this is one reason I was trying to take a nap so I could avoid crying. I fell asleep for like about 5 minutes. And then I woke up to that and I'm like, oh no. I'm gonna start crying. I almost started crying, but I shaked it off. Shut up.
I'm gonna show you.
But honestly, I am being dead serious. If any doctors try to do that to me, if I ever lose a child, the way that you lost baby JJ, I am going to beat some sense into them. And then I'll sue them. Because they ain't no one gonna be treating me like that when it comes to having a child. But that means he'd have to be there to pull me off when I go too far. That'd be the only problem. And I hope you realize that. If you were listening. You're such a cute baby. You're chubby. You're too cute. My leg is itchy. Why is my leg itchy? Oh, my knee. It's not my leg.
This is my sweet baby boy. My precious gift from God. My youngest and my last. This little boy here rocked our world. We were not expecting him at all. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know that our life would drastically change. Because of not having the knowledge. And so throughout the years when my kids asked, is that God needed them back? But I kept asking God, why? Why him? What did I do? What did we do? We didn't know what we did wrong. But we didn't do anything wrong. That's the thing. We listened to the doctors who supposedly knew best. We attempted to get a second opinion, but we lost them before that. People sit there and say, oh, you have to vaccinate, you have to, you don't have a choice. Bull. You have a choice. Do not let them bully you. Do not let them gaslight you. Do not, for the love of God, go against your own gut. Because it could be the difference between the life or death of your child. I know it was for me. He was 25 days old when we lost him. 25 beautiful days. One of the sweetest babies. Always happy. And he always had to be moving. He was always wiggling his little fingers and his little toes. When I knew something was wrong, we were laying in bed watching Wizards of Waverly Place. He's my youngest of 5. So my bed was always quite full. Still is to this day. And he was always moving. His little fingers, his little toes were always moving. And he's laying in my arms. And his weight feels a little different. So I kind of bounce him a little bit, and I rub his forehead, and the top of his head, and I go, "Baby JJ, I love you." And he goes, that's when I took him in. Got called an over-paranoid mom, or over-paranoid mom to go home. I didn't trust her. That same doctor, after we lost our son, was working with CPS to take other kids because I said no more. She was not going to be their doctor, and yeah, I did go after her. It took a doctor, several nurses, my husband, to get me into a room after I had taken my kids in for their wellness check. She was only a year old. Needless to say, we got a different doctor. And when I switched doctors, I switched to the one that had to take off work because he had to declare my son. As I sat there in the hospital holding my baby boy for the last time, I dealt with CPS saying, "Hurry up, you need to go home because we need to see exactly what happened." I dealt with an They made my husband and I reenact everything that happened that day. If you feel in your gut that something is wrong, don't dismiss it. Listen to your mother's intuition. It was created because Percy, your baby, stay with you after they're born. Yes. Some of their cells stay with you. And moms, they get this really nasty gut feeling. And that gut feeling is what could save your child. If you listen to it. I didn't know what I did wrong. I kept asking God, what did I do? Why him? Did I do anything wrong? As years went on, I heard other moms. I started a group on Facebook, and other moms were talking on there, and their situations were similar to mine. A little too similar. And one of the days I yelled at God. Yeah, I do that. I yelled at him. But one of the days I yelled at God. I was sitting. We were in the last time that we lived in. And I'm sitting there watching TV with my husband, and I'm yelling at God, why? You know, because we have 2 days that we can break down. That's his date of birth, which we celebrate, and then at night we cry, and then his date of death. He'd be 15 years old. 15. And he was a splitting image of his older brother. And his dad. And his grandma. He was everything to us, to all of us. Yes, this one included.
Wait, you're saying that he would be 15 this year?
No, right now he'd be 15. September he'd turn 16.
No, he'd be turning 17 this year.
Yeah, never mind. Yep.
Because I'm turning 18.
No, you're not. You're turning 17 this year.
No.
She is correct. He would be 16 going on 17.
Because his birthday's a year and a few days before mine. A year and 3 days.
Yeah. But, he was absolutely perfect. Labor and delivery, easy. Super easy.
Mom just gave him one small oomph and he went flying.
Yeah, it's not wrong. He wanted out. Like, he was pushing on my ribs, saying, let me out. But we were watching TV, and I was yelling at God. And a thing about vaccine injury went across the screen. God, you're kind of funny. But I thought about it, and I thought about all of it, the messages and stuff on his site, and how much they correlated. So, yeah, I was able to put 2 and 2 together, and I wish I had known then what I know now. I didn't know they put formaldehyde in your body. I didn't know they put mercury in your body. I didn't know they put aluminum in your body. That's just 3 of them that are super toxic to our system. As grown adults. So imagine what it does to their tiny little systems. Their tiny little bodies. Yes, today's topic is hard. And not many people want to hear it. I know and I understand that. But more people do need to hear it. Especially those that are just having babies. They need to know the truth about what's in the vaccines. They need to know the truth about what they unwillingly are doing. To their babies. Unknowingly. So I'm going to pull up same thing that we watched on Tuesday. After I seen this video, a lot more made sense. You know the saying, make it make sense? Bear with me as I go through my history to pull it up again. Friendly little reminder. You know who Bill Gates is? Windows MIB or IBM, sorry. Okay. So listen to what he says about vaccines.
I asked the top scientists on this several times, do we really have to get down to near zero? Can't we just, cut it in half or a quarter? And the answer is that until we get near to zero, the temperature will continue to rise. And so that's a big challenge. It's very different than saying, we're a 12-foot high truck trying to get under a 10-foot bridge and we can just sort of squeeze under. This is something that has to get to zero. Now, we put out a lot of carbon dioxide every year, over 26 billion tons. For each American, it's about 20 tons. For people in poor countries, it's less than 1 ton. It's an average about 5 tons for everyone on the planet. And somehow we have to make changes that will bring that down to zero. It's been constantly going up. It's only various economic changes that have even flattened it at all. So we have to go from rapidly rising to falling and falling all the way to zero. This equation has 4 factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to zero. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job...
Listen closely, very closely to what he says right here. Listen closely.
On new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
You heard that, right?
First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Yeah. They could lower it by 10 to 15% by vaccines, reproductive health care, medicine. Does it sound like they're trying to help us? Does it sound like they want to protect us from diseases? Don't to me. What about to you? So guys and gals, it is that time again. We are going to say adieu. So thank you guys so much for joining us, especially on this really hard topic today. I'm going to do one more thing before I end it, because I do need to put the links in the description. I'm going to do that real quick. So yes, you can go through and read each one individually.
So let me get this straight. The government can just drop in like SWAT doctors, armed with stethoscopes and inoculations. So let me get this.
No fake ass colors, just 4 real ingredients.
There we go. Sorry about that. Ooh, I think I'm gonna play this one actually.
Government can just drop in like SWAT doctors, armed with stethoscopes and inoculations. Suits, airplane, buses, the works, all this for an outbreak. But if anyone is injured by those inoculations, those vaccines, like I was, got a seizure 5 minutes after, and so many others did, heart arrhythmia, and later on a clot. Other people suffered heart attacks, strokes. They died. So many are still in wheelchairs. But ain't nobody dropped by for us. Like, I'm still in bed here. My eyes, I still can't use my eyes correctly. The reason I bring this up is because that kind of response of where the government just drops whatever they're doing and goes and will just fly anywhere in the world to you to find out what happened, like find out if this vaccine caused harm. Because they wouldn't dare put out a vaccine that would hurt people, would they? In my naivete, I bring this up because this is the kind of response, like that they would just fly anywhere in the world to come help you if you had a reaction to a vaccine. Like when I was a medic in nursing school, we were told the worst that could happen was anaphylaxis. So someone having a seizure or a heart attack, yeah, call the CDC, which you can make a report, but no one's coming for you. No one's coming to take you to a facility to be evaluated and properly treated. Everything and
Okay. I added that in on the links. What's that? Yeah, it's kind of funny on who contradicts himself. Girl. You gotta sit up. You're hitting my arm, honey.
Sorry.
There we go. Okay, guys and gals, so all of the links are in the description. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you like what you see. Don't forget, if you do like what you see, to subscribe, flick that little bell, and smash the like button. And always remember, no matter what life throws at you, no matter what crazy curveball is thrown your way, or chop, at the end of a rainy day is a rainbow.